Session 2 of Day 2 here at the 2025 Australian Open. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and Bowls is going to be the winner of any contest that we play today because it is an absolutely fantastic afternoon or still late morning here on the Gold Coast. Val Febo with you for this clash between Mark Whybrow of the ACT and Callum's dad from Osborne Park in WA. And by Callum's dad, I mean Tyrone Alberti. Of course, everyone knows his son Callum is an up-and-coming superstar of this sport, but Tyrone is the focus of our match today. Val Febo here with you. Alongside me is the one and only Troy Corber as the horn goes off to start this contest. Troy, welcome.
Thank you, Val. Looking forward to this one. Had a good competitive game first up today and hoping for another one here.
Now, we were told off the top to call Tyrone Callum's dad.
Absolutely.
So that is where that did come from. But Callum, we have streamed a few times at the National Schools Championships as well as other under-18 events. Just turned 16 did Callum, and Tyrone looking to have a solid start to his Australian Open campaign here. To try and get himself through. As the wind has picked up here, it's more of a... It's going in the eastern direction, the breeze.
It has picked up a little. And we are a little more exposed on green 4. Not really much protection from the clubhouse here. A reasonable opener there from Tyrone. 2 foot short of the jack there. Mark Whybrow from the Belconnen Club in ACT. Had a first up win in his first match this morning. Had a big win actually, 21-2.
Well, that's not a bad one at all.
So he's barely raised a sweat so far. Tyrone had a more difficult encounter. He went down 16-21. So as far as his section hopes go for Tyrone, this is a must win, or it is curtains for him. So see how this one develops. So Mark's going to get lucky there with a bit of contact. Wow.
So yeah, 21-2 is a very good start to your Australian Open campaign, especially when shots are so vital and so pivotal. That was against Bruce Moran of Kingborough in Tasmania. Am I saying that right, Connor? Kingborough? There we go. Connor next to us, a resident Tasmanian. And then Tyrone went down to Joseph Van de Pennen of New Zealand. Rink 27 is where we are. Just a small shift over from where we were this morning.
And already we can see the greens are really freeing up for the day now. Running at a good 15 seconds. Very good conditions to play bowls in. Tyrone's gone searching there and sails through. So Mark with the opportunity now to add to this count. Around 3 foot of room to do so. And he might find that's going to struggle to come home all the way from out there.
So he had a rampaging win this morning, did Mark Whybrow. 56 years of age, second Australian Open. Pushed Peter Taylor to 18 last year, lost 21-18 in the singles. Peter, of course, went on and won the fours title with Gary Kelly, Ray Pearce and Carl Healy. Playing as the second there. So one to Mark Whybrow to start things off. But that fours final last year, Ray Pearce led superbly in that contest. Touch of spray was almost gone by the end of it.
Yeah, pretty handy player, Razor.
Sure is.
Very consistent performer over a number of years, Ray.
He's a world champion as well. Won the mixed pairs of the World Bowls Indoor Championships in Guernsey last year with Samantha Atkinson. Great to have everybody's company from wherever you are around the world. Got Aaron Wilson on the rink next door. Ripping that new Cabramatta outfit. Looks fantastic.
take a little bit of adjusting. As mentioned, now they're bowling with the tailwinds, so there is a bit of a difference in terms of the speed going in and out of that wind.
Yeah. So they're bowling, yeah, you said now they're bowling with it, and the previous end they were going against it. That is a nice little starter there from Tyrone. Got a nice little fan club watching him.
That's a great correction from Mark Whybrow. That's a howler. I can see why he won the first game 21-2 with bowls like that. Sure that, yep, that was a toucher. Oh, I think it was.
Bronwyn Torrens, our marker for this matchup. Great to have her back. She's one of the best in the business. Very blessed to have both her and Mitch Mears.
And a good reply there from Tyrone as well. That'll switch Mark onto his forehand. It's a pretty fair change of hand. He's got the right side of the jack. That's a good bowl. Tyrone's given this one plenty of air.
You can hear the wind in our effects, Mike. These two haven't really helped us with the colours of their bowls, both very similar on camera. You can see the speckle there, that's the bowl of Tyrone. Just the block colour, or the solid colour, is that of Mark.
Mark will want to just try and tuck this jack round the corner if he can, just to hide that. He's on a tighter line, however.
Underneath, so still holding one.
Does have a couple of seconds here, Tyrone. He can work around that front bowl onto the shot bowl.
This one's not going to get there unless he misses in a good area, but it's not going to do the trick. So another one on the board for Mark Whybrow. So going up in singles at the moment, it's a 2-0 lead after that many ends. Third Australian Open for Tyrone Alberti, coming from Osborne Park in Western Australia. Very good club. A lot of great clubs over there. Nationals were held there at the back end of 2023.
Tyrone tells me they've got a very good junior program running there at the club, of course, which his son's involved in.
We might just lose this jack. Is it going to stay in the boundary pegs?
Oh,
wow! My word, that's close.
It looked for all money like it was going to stay on the line, and then it's just done a little wobble out right at the last second.
We're calling an umpire. Because, of course, the lines don't represent where the boundary pegs are. So our umpire is coming out. You can see there. So it's over the line, but that's not where the boundary peg is. So we're getting our umpire to go and have a look. Of course, we've got umpires from all around the world. And the officials, we've got 28 ITOs from around Australia for this event and 5 international ITOs, international technical officials, who are flying from overseas to the Gold Coast to be part of the action. They are none other than Susan Way from New Zealand, Stephen Sargent from New Zealand, David Navaratnam from Singapore, Bernie Hill from England, and Maxine Gross from England. And that was, in fact, out of bounds. So big welcome to all 5 of them. We had Bernie and Maxine on our green yesterday. So fantastic to have them here from England. And they were from, I can actually tell you where they were from Beverly.
That's not a bad trip to get on if you're in the middle of an English winter, right? Come out to Australia for...
Well, it's not English
winter.
winter.
That's not.
Yeah,
of course it's not. They're missing their 3 days of sun that they get each year.
In fairness, they're probably coming to warmer weather still.
True.
Because their summers don't really... Actually, when I was over there for the Birmingham Games, it was quite warm. So I think they were hitting plus 30s.
That would have been the end of the world for the English, hitting 30s.
Well, the hotel room didn't have an air conditioner, so it was the end of the world for me.
Both men have adjusted reasonably well to the coming back into the wind. Just a few feet to correct on for each of them. And Mark's corrected pretty well on his first here. Nice simple action, Mark. Nothing too complicated, not much can go wrong with it. Keeps his body nice and straight and in alignment with his grass line.
I like what Tyrone has done at this end here. He got control of the jack, changed the length, but his weight has been pretty much spot on for both of his 2 bowls. You can see that they're almost at jack high, one a little bit past, one a little bit short of. Just needs to get that line correct and he'll be looking pretty good. This one's probably going to cut under for Mark, so 1 more left in his arsenal.
I think it'll be a bit tricky bowling into the wind rather than with it, because often as your bowl's changing angle and turning, depending on when a wind gust comes, sometimes your bowl will get pushed out, sometimes it'll get pushed across the head. So it can be a little trickier bowling into the headwind rather than with it.
Toss this out on a nice wide line here, Mark Whybrow. That's going to go around the back. So he's got a 3-leaf clover on his bowls, hoping it brings him a little bit of luck. Tyrone Alberti, is he going to get on the board? This is looking okay. Didn't want to crash, did.
Clear run, he had shot there. He's unfortunately only got himself to blame because it was his own short bowl, but he was right in the target zone with that.
3 ends, 3 singles, all to Mark Whybrow, who is enjoying a very prosperous day. 24 shots scored, 2 shots conceded. He'd love to get a multiple on the board. Loving looking across the rink. You can see a few people wearing the 2025 Australian Open merchandise. You can head to the marquee, the trade marquee at the Broadbeach Bowls Club in the car park.
Yeah, they look very snazzy.
They do. Come and try some on. Get yours. And then get all the bowls equipment you need. Aeros, Actuality logos, they're on sale. Make sure you come and get some of them. Get a set of new bowls. Get some stuff from Star Sub, Bowlers Paradise, Drake's Pride, Henselite. Everybody's there. Kelsey Cottrell has her own range. I think she's in the broadcast or in the trade marquee at the moment. She was doing an appearance from 11 till 2, I believe it was. So down and get a photo with the dual world champion and Commonwealth Games gold medalist.
We talk about snazzy gear. Some of that stuff Kelsey's bringing out looks very good.
I'm disappointed that she brought out the Wimbledon collection. I'm going to have to tell this to her. because she loves her tennis. Now, I also love my tennis. I would have liked a men's range, Kelsey. It's good that see someone promoting tennis, which is a sport that I also love very much. I get to work on 2 Australian Opens a year, one in January, one in June. No complaints from me.
So Mark didn't like that bowl of Tyrone's out there wide, so he switched hands and just found the going a bit tough out there, finding the line with his first. Tyrone's hoping for a clear run, and he's not. So that's twice in the last 3 bowls he's been hampered by one of his own. This is trying to hold up a little for Mark, but it is going to still scoot through. So no one really holding shot yet. Still a very open head to be able to get in there.
It's Tyrone. Put this one in.
Needs to hang on.
It's close. Talking to Tyrone before, was talking about how he fares against his son Callum. Played on Wednesday and Tyrone managed to get him. Still holding the bragging rights in the family.
Yeah, it was interesting, wasn't it? He was all about, talk about Callum, don't talk about me, but then he was quick to mention that he's got the wood on him at the moment.
I did ask him that, though. As Mark, that'll settle in nicely to ensure that he's got another one.
So Bronwyn's indicating that Mark's holding one at the moment. Tyrone's working, we're trying to work out a way to this jack.
I do like this from Tyrone Alberti, just to stop and prop and just think about what the next bowl will be.
He's out in a good line.
Doesn't want to crash. Won't crash. How's he looking, Tyrone Alberti? Just sneaking through. But I think he might have done enough. Might have done enough to get on the board here. We will wait and see. Matt relinquished by Mark Whybrow, and Tyrone Alberti is on the board 3-1 after 4 ends. So we're ticking up in singles at the moment. Very tight start to this contest.
Well, that's potentially only the second end that Mark's lost all day, given his scoreline in the first.
Well, I can have a look and tell you exactly what happened. No scorecard for that match. Never mind.
Sounds a good story anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah. We'll go with that. Well, at least it could be only the third. So second or third, not bad.
So Tyrone persisting with this mat up, kitty back approach. Both men have settled in fairly well to the match. They'd probably like to be a little closer to the jack, but they're still just, they're coming off a different green. And certainly wind conditions have changed, so they're still just honing in the radar. He's done a pretty good job correcting here. Drops a foot short on the line.
Well, the middle session yesterday was our match of the day. Are we going to get the same Wayne Bolton and Colin Pollock putting on a show, 21-20. And speaking of putting on a show, Tyrone Alberti nails that. Front and back. The back one a lot closer.
He's dropped the clutch and just moved it up a gear.
But Mark Whybrow, if he's got the weight, he's not far away.
It's a fine effort. He's going to just come underneath.
Tyrone Alberti, if he's got the legs, it's good. Another foot. That was right on the money. Wry smile.
He's got that mischievous grin on his face, Tyrone. I reckon he would have been a little terror of a kid, I reckon. Don't you reckon? I reckon he would have been a cheeky little boy.
I actually think you're right.
He's just got that bit of mischief in his eyes. So you'll notice as Mark walks back to the mat, he's got a bit of a limp there. He was telling me before the game started he's got a bit of a physical ailment, and it's actually what brought him to bowls 5 years ago. And he's mentioned to me that bowls has been terrific for him, not just physically but mentally. And he's so glad that he took the sport up.
He's gone big here, Mark Whybrow. I'm not sure how he found that gap, but he found it.
Yep.
And scores will be level. So one more each, as you said yesterday, and they'll be even.
They will.
3 apiece. And that's a 2 for Tyrone Alberti. The first multiple of the match. The Western Australian will be very, very pleased. Sun shining here on the Gold Coast. What a place it is for the Australian Open. It's 10th year here in the Sunshine State, although there hasn't been much of that over the last few months. Great to see how all the bowls clubs around the Gold Coast, lower Brisbane area, were so quick to rally behind their fellow clubs after Cyclone Alfred, which was such a devastating time. I hope your family and house escaped too much damage.
Yeah, got it very lightly compared to a lot of others. But, it was a great example of how our clubs aren't just bowls clubs, they're community clubs, and a number of them acted as hubs for their communities to come and charge their phones and get a hot meal. A lot of areas were without power for quite a period of time.
Did you lose power yourself, or?
Yeah. Yep. Thankfully, I had a neighbour across the road with a generator, so that you all of a sudden become even better friends.
Yep.
In that situation.
No wonder you were on the daiquiris last night with them.
So Mark's bowled a howler here with his first.
Yeah.
He's looking to double up now.
I think we're in for a close one here. Looking at the rink next door, Aaron Wilson, in his contest, already up 10-4. 14 shots scored in that contest, just 6 here. Same amount of time.
He does not muck about on the mat, Disco.
No.
Trying to get this to turn a little more.
He's
opened up the target area for Tyrone, and he's not mucking about.
But he's wide of the target. I dare say he might have another ping at it.
Tyrone's out of ammo.
Oh, he used to.
So Mark's got a free kick here.
Possibly add a third. He just doesn't need to do more than his last. It's coming. Might be a bit disappointed with that. Nonetheless, it is a multiple. Mark Whybrow take a 5-3 lead in this contest. Second multiple of the match and first for the ACT native, and he's an accountant by trade, working as a public servant for the ACT Treasury, I believe it was.
Mark's preferring these longer ends. Keeps the jack in out of the sand.
Remember, around this session on green 1, we used to stream up there, we used to have a lost jacks tally because there were just so many that would go in, especially around that final session of the day as well. The sun was baking that green. They would just, the jacks, if they were nudged, they would move like glass.
Mark will be a little bit disappointed with that one. He's left that one a bit high and dry. Tyrone has played a majority of bowls on his forehand coming this way, so he's been forced to come and have a look at this backhand. That's probably not a bad decision.
Not a bad effort at all, almost right on the line. Something Troy Corber would do.
By accident. Mark's on a reasonable line here. It's all weight dependent for him.
I think it'll stay on. Maybe just. Or am I wrong?
That's gone swimming.
No, I'm wrong. For the umpteenth time today, I'm wrong.
No. Talk about a lost jack tally. We've got the valve tally as well.
Yeah. You might need more paper. And this is a lovely correction.
Look at this coming in.
Tyrone.
Cop that, he says. So Mark with only one bowl on the green at the moment, and that's short. So he's really got to try and get this bowl into a good position. Fortunately, though,
it's probably in the way of the backhand for Tyrone. May force him to change hands, but...
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he's got a lot of room to count there.
Yep.
He could be well wide of that last one of Mark's and still count easily, but he said, no, I'm going to come onto my forehand.
It just needs to be positive. He's going to come underneath, and this is positive.
Yeah, this is going to be close.
Oh, yes. And now he's pushed one behind as well. That is perfection.
Yeah. That's a good bowl. So Mark is the wheelbarrow kid here. He's got the job ahead of him.
How's this looking? Mark Whybrow, he's not going to find the gap, is he? He is going to find the gap. So an opportunity for Tyrone Alberti. Just needs the same as his last. And this could be for a full count of 4.
No.
Not sure he sent this. He's not happy with it. But importantly for him, he will take the lead for the first time in this match.
He's intimating he was a bit chicken. I think he just didn't get it away well. But he's a happy man. The grin's back.
Because he's in front
Yep.
for the first time. He's only won the 3 ends, but a 1, a 2, and a 3. If the pattern continues, the next one will be a 4.
In case anyone was wondering, Mark isn't tattooed on both arms. They are some spalms he's wearing.
You don't know that. They could be tattoos. Of course, Chloe Stewart, who hopefully she's watching. I did see her around here before on a walk, so she might still be on that walk, but good afternoon to her. She's the general manager at Sparms. Sun protection sleeves, they are great, and a lot of bowlers do wear them. She kits out a lot of the jackaroos. Make sure they are sun smart. They have thermal Sparms as well, if you get cold easily.
Is that right?
Yep.
Thermal Sparms.
Yep. I know Chloe's got a lot of AFL players involved as well, so she's doing some great work with them.
That's a good lead up too. Coming off picking up 3 and then nails it with his first the next end. He's just applying a little bit of pressure here. He's asking Mark to come with him. Come with me if you're good enough.
Well, the way he's playing, we might have to call Callum Tyrone's son.
Well, that's right. I tell you what, this is a fair reply. Look at this. Oh, good bowl.
We're enjoying a great middle session here at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. So lucky to be able to stream here. First time I laid eyes on this place was 2022 for the 2021 Oz Champs and Champ of Champs, and just continues to endear itself to the general public. It's such a hub of the community here.
So Mark looks like he's on a fairly aggressive line. I don't know if that's intentional.
He went very big there, all things considered.
He's having a little niggle at that, I think.
Yeah. Well, not very big, but big enough. And that just shows that Tyrone's put the pressure on.
Yep.
Oh, that is... Oh, has that flopped in for second? If he had a little bit more weight on that, Tyrone, that would have been nice. This is big weight again, and this is also dipping under. So if I'm Tyrone Alberti, I'm laughing right now.
Box seat.
Because that means you're putting the pressure on your opponent. Is it going to be a case of third time lucky for Mark Whybrow? And again...
He's in the zone again.
Yeah, all 4 of those bowls. Almost on a dime. Big weight again for Mark Whybrow. And he's missed once more. Is it just the one, though? Maybe that's why he went big, just to try and limit the damage. Tyrone takes 1 out, or they may need chocks. Might have to measure for the second here. Umpire called.
Well, that's a perfect example, that end of pressure of good front bowls. So Tyrone, after that first bowl, he controlled that whole end. And Mark changed his game that he's been playing. We saw it in the first game when David Munt was able to start getting a few of his first bowls close. And he had Kyle switching and changing hands, and makes a huge difference.
So what is the verdict going to be? Big thank you to all of our volunteers and all of our ITOs, lifeblood of this sport. It's just the one for Tyrone Alberti.
Yeah, they were 3 good bowls from Tyrone to only get 1 out of it. So
yep. So Tyrone has won 4 of the last 5 ends now after dropping the first 3. And the momentum well and truly with the Western Australian. We know in singles, things can change on a dime. See what happens over the next 10-15 minutes or so, because they are going to be pivotal in what happens in this contest. The next few ends, always important. (7-5) is the scoreline. In number 9, both of them have won 4 ends apiece. But Tyrone Alberti has only dropped the 1 multiple, and he scored 2 himself. And his first here isn't too shabby.
Yeah, he's only half a foot short of Jack High. So he's in the zone, not much to correct on there. Mark's reply's got a great line. Just trying to pull up for him.
Gives him something to work with, though, which he hasn't had for the past few ends.
Yeah, no, that's good lead bowl there.
He really needed that just to get himself into a head. Because it's been Tyrone that's pounced on everything immediately. And have a look at this.
Yep.
Had good weight on it. Promoted his own, and now it's Jack High, not too far from the Jack at all. Half a foot.
Interesting. Mark electing to switch.
Because he can use that bowl if he's got the right weight. Sort of stay. Maybe take the Jack himself.
Gee.
That's unlucky. He was close. If he got any more on it, he was in a good spot. Now, Tyrone wants to be careful here. He doesn't want to move this Jack back. But if he ends up past, he's in a great spot. That is a brilliant delivery.
Yeah, that's very handy there. Particularly given Mark had the 2 back. Certainly taken a lot more grass of this one than his first.
Doesn't want to knock up Tyrone's, won't. Tyrone Alberti. Do you reckon he stays on the same line as before, maybe a bit more weight, try and sit that bowl out and lie with 3 or 4?
Yeah, sitting the bowl or a little tuck of the Jack round the corner is a good number, but he's going to hang out. So Mark does have some back bowls here, but he has only got 1 in the head, so interesting to see what he chooses to play here.
Wait, it is. He's not happy at all. Tyrone Alberti scores again. 5 of the last 6 ends have gone to the Western Australian, who needs a big result here after losing his first match. Mark Whybrow, of course, we mentioned off the top, 121-2. Are we measuring for the second? No, just the one it'll be. 8-5 after 9. Really impressed with the way that Tyrone has rebounded after losing the first 3 ends. Things could have gone away from him, but been really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, well, Mark's in a bit of a quandary too, because he's had 4 drives in the last 2 ends and none of them have hit anything, and he was sort of going through his process as he was walking up the green, and he wasn't happy with how they were coming out, so he's not going to have a terrific level of confidence in his weighted shots at this stage. So he might consider putting that back in the tool bag for this game and concentrate more on drawing, which he's been doing quite well at.
So has Tyrone Alberti. That is a monster of a lead bowl.
Pretty fair reply. It's almost a carbon copy of last end. Good start from Tyrone and then a good reply from Mark.
It's been a really enjoyable contest.
Tyrone's got the arm swinging like a traffic cop. He wants it to do something. He's not too far away. Good handy spot there. That's where the kiddie's going to pop through if Mark gets hold of it. Beautiful weight on that, Mark. So it is Tyrone holding currently. Mark's having a bit of a run up after this, but it's going to drop short on him.
So again, like that last end, the first two bowls have sort of been the telling ones, and then nothing really adding. Tyrone wants to be a little careful here. Doesn't want to move the jack, but if he can get rid of Mark's bowl, he's in a very good spot. Ooh.
It's lucky he didn't up and over that.
Looked like it might in the end. Darted back late, didn't it?
Mm. He actually had pretty good weight on that because a little poke of the jack through that hole, he hides the jack and makes three. So he had nice weight to that head, just a couple of bowls tight. So let's see what Mark can do. Needs to try and make sure he's under his own, and he's going to do that, and he's going to be very close here.
Oh my God.
He's stiff.
I don't think he can believe it, and there's the old adage, you don't have to be dead to be stiff. Another end goes the way of Tyrone Alberti. That is heartbreaking for Mark Whybrow, who was right in the area, hit everything but what he wanted.
All our bowlers know that this game is a game of millimetres, and you know he comes across the head a little bit more and just sits off the inside of his own bowl. He gets shot. That's why we love the sport. Weather forecast is good for a period of time up here on the Gold Coast, and these greens here are going to be flying within 2 or 3 days. They're going to be sensational.
That's why we change directions as well, so the wear and tear sort of evens out.
Good opener here from Mark. Still plenty of room here for Tyrone.
And for the first time in a while, the lead bowl, the first bowls, finally go the way of Mark Whybrow.
And unfortunately, Tyrone's dropped both of his first two short. So, again, the early head setup here isn't fantastic for Tyrone, and Mark will be trying to rub salt into the wounds here and either trail this jack or just finish behind.
Well, he's on a sensational line.
Look at this.
There we go.
Does keep a nice little channel there, though. I'm sure Tyrone will not be short of the head this time. He's in a pretty fair area. He needs it to hold on. He needs it to hold on. Ooh. Mighty effort. Now, can he get around his own here? He can. And he comes into a handy spot.
Oh, this is an exquisite head from Mark Whybrow, and now the pressure finally back on Tyrone Alberti.
Well, he's having a little dig at this.
I'll tell you what, he's not a mile away. Oh my word.
There you go.
There's the results. And he's coming up the green. Is looking a little bit sheepish as well because
Mark's got one to come.
yeah, he knows that was a fortunate result. And Mark should be able to draw this. And he says sorry. It's been played in a great spirit, this one.
It has.
Mark, a wry smile saying, what more do I have to do?
Well, the only good thing is he's got a fair bit of room there. He's got a good yard of room to get the shot back. We are in uncharted territory out here, though. So it's always that unknown factor of, well, what is my bowl going to do out there?
6 of the last 7 ends have gone the way of Tyrone Alberti. Is that going to change here?
Well, I think his line is going to be good enough. It's all down to his weight.
And his weight is spot on. Mark Whybrow, finally back on the board. 6-9. But if you're Tyrone Alberti, you're saying I've only dropped 1 multiple in this match. A really enjoyable contest so far. We're none the wiser as to who is going to be the one that takes it home at the moment. The momentum all with the Western Australian. And that can change on a dime.
And it's nice when you get a game where there's a clear distinction between the game plans from the two. Mark's preferring these longer ends, and Tyrone's bringing the mat up and Kitty back. So it's always a good tussle when you've got that real distinction in game plan. The advantage of having the mat becomes greater. Just want this to hurry a little bit more. Tyrone will take the bickies for the first bowl challenge. Still plenty of room for Mark. Out on a pretty good line again here.
He's going to come underneath, is he, or promote his own? Neither.
Yeah, he didn't get the best result out of that. Could have been kinder.
If we had $1 for every time we've said that about Mark in this contest, we'd be able to afford an apartment in Monaco.
Indeed.
Just went there last month, and it's become my new dream, Troy.
Is that right?
To live in Monaco. Not that I need the tax haven. I'm not on $1 billion a year, but Tyrone Alberti.
That's $1 billion bowl there.
That is, you know what? I think you should mute yourself because it doesn't get much better than that. That was that good, Troy.
That was a Monaco special. Now, Mark's on the hunt here. He likes this, and so he should, because this is very close.
And again, he's millimetres away.
Could not have played that much better than that.
And that's the thing about getting to the jack first and putting in the good bowl first, that your opponent can play something brilliant, but they still can't get the result off you. And that's what Tyrone has been doing over the last half an hour or so. Just peppering and making Mark try the extraordinary. And he's been nigh on extraordinary, but not enough.
Mark's got an interesting decision to make here because he's had all 3 bowls down on his backhand. He's probably percentage-wise, his better percentages are on his forehand, where he's at least got a bowl there he can sit on the draw, but he's going to have to do that cold. So he sticks to what he knows. First challenge is to get under the wing bowl.
He's going to find a gap.
Yep.
So back on the board for Tyrone Alberti. Extends the margin back to 4.
Don't write him off.
Oh, still got one more.
Yeah. Don't write him off. The way he's playing, he'll draw another one here.
Connor's just tapped me on the shoulder and said, no, could be 2. No, I've written him off, and for good reason.
You're just Nostradamus, that's all. Bro.
I'm not, but I'll take it. Just went very preemptive, but there we go. So 10-6 is the score. Just have to update that scoreboard on screen as well.
There's a good crowd building here today too. It was good yesterday, but I feel like there's even more that have come down for a Sunday afternoon ale or two and a look at the bowls.
Well, it's a beautiful day. Aaron Wilson next door, leading in his game, 16-7. So looking pretty good. Won his first game 21-11 this morning, so he'll be pretty pleased. He'll want to get through. The men's singles at the Australian Open, since from 2019 onwards, has only been won by Aarons. 1 Aaron and 1 Aaron. 4 of those have gone to Aaron Sheriff. 1 of those in 2021 went to Aaron Wilson, who beat Aaron Sheriff along the way. That was in the semi-finals, and Aaron Sheriff hasn't lost to the AO since. Will he lose this year? He'll have the target on his back. But 4 in a row in the offing.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of quality to come after him too. So it's not a foregone conclusion, that's for sure. He'll need to continue to be at his best, which I'm sure he will.
Four in a row. The fact that he's even going for 4 in a row is ridiculous.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
We never thought that would be possible in an event like this.
Great change of hands from Mark.
Right on Jack High.
And holding 2 now.
Tyrone Alberti is on a good line. He's on a very good line. Might have just squeezed it the wrong way.
Bronwyn's going to let us know what's happening here.
Favouring 1 to Mark.
1 to Tyrone.
There you go. Saved it. Shouldn't be surprised. That's the way that the last half an hour has gone for Mark Whybrow. As he rescued it.
He's on a good arc, but I think his weight is going to just cost him the shot.
But he's on the rink and behind, so he can afford to be up. Results so far, if you want to go and have a look, results.bowlslink.com.au. That's where you can find everything. It's also in the description as well. Link in the description to the post. So you can go and have a look. Results and standings all there.
Well, that's now 2 to Tyrone. So in the space of 3 bowls, he's gone from 2 down to 2 up. Mark's got 1 left in the chamber. Press this end back. Concerned with the weight on this one.
Yeah, it's not going to get there. So the first multiple for a long time for Tyrone Alberti, but it's an opportune one as well because it takes the margin to 12-6, and from 3-0 and 5-3 down, he's gone on a rampage. 12-6. He's doubled his opponent's score, and after going down in round one, he will want to make sure that he wins this with a healthy margin, but a win is more important first up. Stays on. Just needs to keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah, well, that is the problem. It's a very hefty margin that Mark carries from the first game, so...
Yeah, 21-2, that's a romp.
There's already 24 shots difference between the two of them coming into the match, taking match points out of it, so... You know, even if he was to win by 10 in this game, he's still going to be 14 behind on aggregate.
He's in the mind of Mark Whybrow at the moment, Tyrone Alberti. The way that he's regrouped after those first few ends where things weren't going his way.
Trying to get under his own.
Oh, yeah.
He sneaks it.
And his lead bowls have been great. I think that's what you've got to look at. The way that he's hopped on early and not allowed Mark to dictate things, that's what's been his most impressive facet today, or in this contest anyway.
Yeah, Mark is tracking fairly well here. He needs the jack.
Got it.
And he did.
That was a much-needed bowl, just to reassure himself. There was a little sigh of relief there. What has Tyrone got in reply?
Well, he hasn't mucked around on the mat, Tyrone, for this one. He's straight up and on it. And he's inching closer. Can't get there.
Line was spot on.
So Mark switching hands. No traffic out here to contend with. Just needs it to stop.
I think it has.
It
That's
so
number
has.
one. So last bowl here for Tyrone Alberti. And I like this. It says that I'm going to come up and have a look, and Mark's going to follow suit as well. Where are you going? If this is you and you're Tyrone, you have nothing past the jack. What are you trying to do here? Are you...
Well, he's played a lot more bowls on his backhand than the forehand, and he's played backhand this end, so I'd be backing myself in to draw the shot, rest off that second shot bowl, fall in for shot. He's been drawing well enough. We haven't seen a lot of stupendous weight from Tyrone. Because if he elects to play weight and misses, he leaves Mark a lot of room to add another one. Well, I know nothing. Tyrone's going big.
I'll tell you what, he's not a mile away. Tyrone Alberti, very close. What's he cleared?
He's got it.
Oh, my word, he's done it again.
And he's got 2 on the tee. 3 on the tee even.
This is stupidly good from Tyrone Alberti. He hit that perfectly.
So I told you that he was going to drive.
I was thinking, could it be an option? But he doesn't have anything past the jack, so if he misses, it could be catastrophic. But
Oh, he hit that sweet.
you've got to have the confidence, and you could tell out of the hand the way that it went down, and a high five there from Mark Whybrow just saying, you are too good. From a couple down to 3 up. And this now just simply has to be good from Mark Whybrow.
He's in the zone here.
He's not far away. Watch him find the gap. Because that's just how he's... No, he's nailed it.
That's a great reply.
It was just... if he found the gap, that was just going to sum up how this match has gone for him. But he absolutely smoked it. That is sensational from Mark Whybrow and well-deserved because he played a brilliant end.
And he needed that.
What bowling we've had. Thoroughly enjoyable match. 12-7. Five shots the difference. He finally gets the mat back. That's just second end he's won out of the last 8, Troy.
Yeah, he definitely, Tyrone has stepped up the gear, and Mark has struggled to sort of go with him, but he's back in the zone. Good consistent drawing in the last end and starts well here. Out on a nice line again. This will come home nicely. Into a nice home. So Mark was telling us prior to the game, he's clubbed there at Belconnen. Fairly traditional, older style clubhouse. He said the best thing about that is that the beer prices are still at 1970 prices. So if you're in the area, that's the place to go.
Not that it helps me. I don't like beer.
Yeah, I'm not sure they have a discount daiquiri slushy machine.
No. Maybe on the cruises. Who knows? Of course, Bowls Australia, proudly supported by Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise.
That's right, one daiquiri only. And don't drive afterwards.
How strong are your daiquiris?
Oh, you should never have, you don't want to be pushing that limit, mate.
All right, well, I know if I ever have a drink with you.
1 or 2 drinks, mate, that should pull you up if you're driving a car. I know it's 0.05, but once you go past a couple, I reckon you're better off...
if I'm driving, I'm only having one. Anyways, I do prefer soft drink. Coca-Cola is where it's at, or a creamy soda.
Oh.
I don't mind a creamy soda. I'm a child, I think.
My favourite was remember the Terex brand? I don't even know if it's in existence still anymore.
I've never seen that.
Now I'm showing my age, aren't I? There'll be some viewers out there that'll know what I'm talking about. Terex creamy soda, one of the best in a brown can. Tyrone wants to throw his bowl in a brown can because he's dropped that one short and he's going to drop at least 2. Looks like it's only 2.
But this is exactly what Mark Whybrow wants, a little shake of the head from Tyrone. They're both having a chat out there. It's great.
Oh, it's the camaraderie out there is fantastic. They're having a good time, and that's what it's all about.
So just his second multiple, but more importantly, the margin is trimmed to 3 here. Mark Whybrow starting to maybe wrestle that momentum back.
He's definitely got himself back in the game, that's for sure.
So he's going long here. This is going to be T to T if it stays on. Doesn't want this to go in the ditch. Oh, no.
So Tyrone immediately brings the mat up. He's saying thank you very much.
And that hurts. Just when you get the momentum back, he hasn't been able to win consecutive ends. Well, this is the first time he's won it since the first 3 ends, and we've played 15 of them. You know, he had to back himself up and not give the length away. And that's what he's done.
For any new bowlers watching, we talked yesterday about practicing with your drive drawing. Jack rolling's another art form that is very important to master. Says I, who once led for Aaron Sheriff in a pennant game and put 3 kiddies either out of bounds or in the ditch.
How were the greasies from Omar?
I didn't look to see.
Fair enough.
It was running 20 seconds blowing a gale.
Where was this? At Helensvale?
Helensvale.
Yep.
But no excuses there. I can't believe I shared that publicly. Anyhow.
It's like Jack Rollers Anonymous.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, I'm Troy.
I can't roll a jack.
Hello, Troy.
So Mark's recovered fairly well. And hold shot, 1 behind.
The most satisfying thing with a jack roll is when you roll it and you get it bang on that centre line and you don't have to move it.
Oh, yeah, see, that's when you're a skip, you really annoy your lead. Doesn't matter how straight it is, you still just move it a little bit to really annoy the lead.
All right.
You don't want to give them that satisfaction that they've rolled it perfectly straight.
So Mark Whybrow starting to flex his muscle once again.
Yeah, this one's tracking okay. Needs it to stop.
Aaron Wilson next door. 17-11 is his lead, so not entirely having it all his own way is Disco. Tyrone Alberti wants things to get back to his own way. What's he got?
Not going to quite get back to that bowl, so probably one of the looser ends we've had from the 2 gents actually. Standard's been pretty good. But nailed their line, but just struggled with that weight.
Wind has died down a little bit, so
it has.
The conditions may have just changed up for them on the rink. Green 4 at the Broadbeach Bowls Club. Great to have your company wherever you're watching. 2025 Australian Open. How's his weight here, Mark Whybrow? His line's good.
He's going to run out of steam, unfortunately.
And again, look at the line on all 4 of his bowls. He's not missed it at all. Tyrone Alberti, what can he come up with? Can he get back on the board?
He's staring it down hard.
Because he's not a mile away.
He's got this.
And that might just be enough for 2. Find out. Bronwyn Torrens with the paddles in hand, watching on. It's always around this 12:30, 1 o'clock mark. Just the one for Tyrone. But 13-9 is the lead. It's always around this 1 o'clock mark that the smell of chips starts to waft towards us. And that makes you hungry.
Well, I'm in all sorts of trouble. I've been a really good boy and dropped a bit of weight in the last 2 weeks. And I'm not getting helped by Broadbeach's ham and cheese toasties here at all.
You don't need to drop any weight.
I was carrying a couple of extras, mate.
Yeah, I'm a bit the same.
Always do, just to keep it under control. When you get to a certain age, you've got to be a little bit more careful with these things. You're just coming into that, Val, that age where the metabolism starts to say no thanks.
Yes. 29 years of age, so dreading January. got to hit the big 3-0.
That's awesome, mate. You'll love your 30s.
Yeah. I think that's where, the 20s are sort of, you enjoy, you make your mistakes. And then, not that I think that I've made many, but I hope not anyway. Other people will be the judge of that. And then your 30s are where you sort of solidify. So I'm looking forward to that part anyway.
Yeah.
Tick the wedding off. So, to enjoy the rest of it. 13-9, the score here. Tyrone Alberti with a 4-shot advantage. Just 2 multiples scored by Mark Whybrow from Belconnen. Scored in 7 ends of the 16 that we've played. Tyrone Alberti in 9.
He's got this on a beautiful arc again. He's really nailing the line at the moment. Didn't give as much as I thought it might have, actually. Has gotten very quiet with the breeze, as we mentioned. I think it's in the midst of switching to the sea breeze, so it's...
And that is...
Oh, that's a beautiful bowl.
Stupendous from Tyrone Alberti.
Yeah, that was a very handy bowl. And Mark's changed to the forehand, so I can only presume he's playing some weight here.
Not a mile away.
He's got controlled weight. And gets a nice sit through there. And the fall over.
Time he got one.
There you go. Did you mention he had the 3-leaf clover on his bowls? Is that what you... Yeah. Maybe that one's got 4 on it.
Yeah. Now Tyrone Alberti. Tell you what, his line's not awful either. What has he got in reply? Tyrone Alberti. Oh, so close.
Wow.
It's probably made it a bit worse. Better for Mark Whybrow. If he can sit that bowl away, maybe. Sit and stay. He can make a full count if you want to play it aggressively. And he has switched hands to try and do that. So let's see what the result is going to be here.
Looks like he's on a conservative line.
Yeah, maybe knock his in. No. So I'll take the 1. 3 of the last 4 ends for the ACT products. The accountant, public servant. Tell you what, the momentum has swung again. Swings and roundabouts. He'll want to make sure that he gets this jack roll correct, though.
Yes, he's down our end, so I'll say it quietly. Yes, he won't want to do this again. This backhand side that they're playing down here is taking a lovely grass out there. Really kind.
And his line in this direction, that's 5 bowls in a row that he's absolutely nailed. Aaron Wilson takes another 1 next door. He was down 3, which would have been 17-15 if he didn't smoke the jack and put it in the ditch. Now leads 18-12 next door, so he was in a spot of bother. Tyrone Alberti has led this match since the conclusion of the 7th end.
Just a slight correction needed here from Mark.
And again, his line is spot on.
It's a pretty good effort.
So the pressure heaped back on on the West Australian. And that's cutting under.
Coach Callum needs to pull him off to the side and give him a talking to, I think.
Might need to. His weight is pretty strong here, Mark Whybrow. But again, finds the centre line.
Tyrone's had enough of out there. He's left one wide, gone across the head with the other. And he said, nah.
And
to the heck with that. I'm going to switch to my forehand. I'm going to get a little rub. And, oh, nearly got a toucher. Thank you very much. As Rexy Hunt would say, thank you, mother, for the rabbits.
Yep. Could do the old fat lady sings as well. How's your opera singing?
Not great.
Mark Whybrow needs to affect something here. He's not a mile away.
He's close to this.
What's he done? Oh, just shaved it.
Wow.
But it wasn't a cheap razor. It was a Gillette. And it was too close to shave.
He gets a centimetre more of that, Jack. He's got shot.
He needed to really clip it. Can Tyrone add a second here? It's got a good line, but it doesn't have the legs. 14-10. Momentum. No one has won consecutive ends for quite a while now. Exchanging singles for the last three.
So we're roughly 2/3 of the way through this game. And we're not necessarily any the wiser as to who might prevail here. So both gentlemen right on the edge of the ditch. Tyrone's the first one to get a chance to correct, and he's done a pretty good job of it. Falls 2 feet short.
Tell you what, next door, Aaron Wilson is in an absolute dogfight. 18-14. That matchup is against Matthew Blythe, who also had a win in his first round. So,
Matt's a very, very solid player from the Northern Suburbs club in Brisbane. Plays Premier League with Pine Rivers in their reserve side. Very steady player. And just as importantly, he's a lovely bloke too. Matthew got a lot of time for him. He does some good work at the Northern Suburbs club.
Well, he's in a very good position at the moment. He's had opportunities to actually hurt Disco. Disco's been able to pull out some good bowls when I've looked over. But Aaron Wilson absolutely desperate to get this win and make sure he can get through and get to the pointy end once again, an event that he's won twice Tyrone Alberti, what have you got in response? Holding one. Well, maybe not. I'm not sure. What would you be favouring here?
I reckon I'm favouring
Mark?
Mark's bowl there at 3 o'clock. Just.
Well, it doesn't want to hit Aaron Wilson, this bolt. It's all good.
Yeah, Mark's thrown that one a little wide, so
maybe
we're going to find out.
Means that he favours his own.
It will be one to Mark.
So 14-11. Still, now the momentum is nobody's at the moment. We're just going 1 for 1.
Quite like the Belcon on top. Very Australiana
Okay, yep.
with the kangaroos on there.
Yeah, not bad at all, is it? Some great bowls, tops. Getting more modern as well. Volunteer shirts are good.
Yeah,
Blue and orange. I've got the blue and pink one from last year. Have to get my hands on one of those blue and orange ones as well. So 14-11. 3 shots the difference.
tracking well again here.
Whybrow.
Just going through.
So this has been Tyrone Alberti's direction. Oh, Aaron Wilson, I think, has just nailed a 3 here. And I think he will be enjoying a 2-0 day. That's exactly what's happened. So he's in a bit of trouble, but on the verge of being 17-15 ahead. Wins at 21-14.
Mark will be wanting the handbrake for this one.
I think that's going to stop.
He needs a handbrake badly.
What do I know?
Tyrone's given this one plenty of air. Looking to try and make that weight correction. And he's done a pretty good job of it. A little bit of the jack. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Cop that. We've seen this before from Tyrone. He switches over to this forehand and he makes things happen.
Can he make something happen now? He doesn't want to have to do it with his last because it'll make things all the more difficult, and he's not sent that at all. This is dangerous. He's 3 down at the moment, which would provisionally have it at a tied game.
Mark would absolutely love just to give a little tap on that front one and just make those back ones even closer.
Well,
but he's not going to do that, but he's going to do enough to count.
So he's holding a full count, and more importantly, holding the lead. Tyrone Alberti has to limit the damage. Simply has to limit the damage. He's on a wide line.
Here it comes for him.
Has he got enough to at least limit the count?
He does.
Yep, so that'll probably be, I think, 2.
But he gets a little tickle off that wide one when he was on the way in. He would have gone very close to the shot there. He just missed that edge of the wide bowl. But he has at least, as you say, limited the damage.
So we're favouring 2, and that's what it is. So back-to-back ends. for Mark Whybrow. And he's back to within 1. He was down by 6 before. It was 12-6 in favour of Tyrone Alberti after being 5-3 behind and 3-0 behind. 14-13 is the buffer, a one-shot difference. One is 7 away, one is 8 away. This race to 21. Are we having our longest match of the competition? This is N21. .25 ends yesterday. In our second game between Wayne Bolton and Colin Pollock. So I dare say this one's going to beat it.
Well, it's shaping that way. Mark's probably thrown the jack a little bit short of what he would have wanted, or at least what he's been playing. Maybe he did want to change the length, but certainly a little bit shorter than he's rolled previously. Just the last 3 or 4 ends, Tyrone's just seems to have lost the line a little. He's been a bit wayward with his line, and that's never a good sign, because if your line's all over the place, it's often very hard to know what you're doing with the weight. So see if he's able to correct here.
Yeah, we're none the wiser at the moment. I'm probably favouring the momentum being with Mark, even though I know we're going end for end. Just seems as though he's got the upper hand in a lot of the heads.
Yeah, I feel he's definitely a little more consistent than Tyrone at the moment, but that can change. But right now, Mark is just grouping his bowls a little bit better than Tyrone.
Tyrone lost this morning in his first match. Mark won his 21-2.
This is a good reply. There we go. Yes, and the hands are up from Tyrone. He does a little victory dance.
He needed it. Broadbeach Bowls Club being treated to a thriller, and he's gone big here. Mark Whybrow.
I tell you what, he's going to hit this.
Bang. Kills it.
Well, that just goes to show you, we spoke earlier in the coverage, he couldn't hit anything early. He had 5 drives in 2 ends and got nothing. And he's now hit one.
Well, this just has to be close for Tyrone. One in the ditch, and that's the shot at the moment.
Well, he's got about 7 feet to draw the shot in.
You'd think he'd get there.
But he
has he
struggling.
Done it, though? This needs to keep moving. And, oh, I don't know.
Could be.
I think just.
You've only got to do enough. You don't have to get a toucher.
Sometimes those big draws, or the ones where you got plenty of room, are the hardest ones to get.
Sure are.
Gonna have a look. Will we get a measure into the ditch here? One to Tyrone Alberti. Extends the margin again, so he's not relinquishing the lead just yet. 15-13, he's 6 away. He was scoring heavily early, but his last 3 ends that he's won have all been singles. And in the last 6 ends, I've only had 1 multiple, so the scoring is slowed.
Yeah, it's become a grind.
Tell you what, a multiple for each, or for either of them, will break this match open. Tyrone scores, say, a 3.
Oh, his box seat then.
But if it comes to Mark, well, that just gives him a wet sail.
He's out on a pretty good line for his bowl.
His line in this direction has just been nigh on perfect, and that is as good as it gets.
If you went and picked it up and put it up there, that's where you'd put it. Magnificent.
I don't even think I could place it that close.
Reckon you'd still find a way to muck it up, Val?
Yeah, I'd probably drop it on the jack and then the jack could spill out. Kill it and have to respot. Although if it was respotted, it'd go right there and it'd be okay.
He's urging this on Mark. He doesn't like to wait.
But again, the line is good.
Now Tyrone's got to buckle down here because he's got 2 sort of nowhere near it. So really important for him to get this one close.
He didn't want to do that.
No, that wasn't ideal.
So this is starting to look like it's gone in the favour of Mark Whybrow. The middle portion of this match wasn't going his way, wasn't getting the results he was after. But now things are starting to tick along for the ACT products.
Yeah, we'll be disappointed with that one. He had a lot of room to add another and put some real pressure on.
But he's got last bowl. And if Tyrone Alberti can't do anything here, there's an opportunity for Mark Whybrow to add a 3 and take the lead. This needs to pull up. Needs to pull up. I think it's gone in for second. So a chance to tie the scores for the first time. To be as close as he's been since he led 5-3 after 6 ends.
He's got a good line on this again. Gently now.
Scores are tied.
Great shot.
I said a multiple was going to prove its weight in gold. And for Mark Whybrow, he levels proceedings. Has not been this close since the 7th end. We've played 22. And this is interesting. He shortened it up.
Yeah, he did. I think it maybe is a tactical move because I thought he'd just dropped the kitty short when we came back this way the other time, but I think it's a conscious change from Mark. And why not? Look at this coming in.
4 of the last 6 ends have gone the way of Mark Whybrow.
Great shot.
He's on song. And he's starting to look the part. And if you think back to about 45 minutes ago, it was the opening bowls of Tyrone Alberti that were putting all the pressure on Mark Whybrow. And now Mark has just absolutely nailed his first 2. And the line, he's barely dropping it. That's probably the most loose he's been for a long time.
Yeah, on line for sure.
There was that one in the last end, but we'll forget about that one.
Yeah. Tyrone trying to make a correction of about 3 feet here. Which he's done, but he's left it a bit high.
So who wants it more? We've got a 6 up equation.
He's close here.
Whybrow again. Any tug of that jack is very good, but well, that's even better.
Wow.
This is getting nerve-wracking for Tyrone Alberti. What's he got? If he's got the legs, he's not far away.
Needs to get down.
Oh, he got a result.
Look at this. Okay. He's got a bit of pigeon poo in his bowl now.
That's what they call it. Mark Whybrow, that hurts because he's done such a good job of getting back into this from 12-6 down. He's levelled it at 15 apiece. What does he do here? He's got, I think it's just a dead draw now. As the wind really picks up.
His problem with playing, because he could play a good shot on the forehand and actually make it worse and go 2 down if he just sprung the kitty out sideways. So sticking to the hand, he's been playing well. Just trying to rumble around in there somewhere.
Just doesn't have the weight. Not happy with it. It's an opportunity here for Tyrone Alberti to get himself into the checkout zone. It's a tough shot.
The flip side for him is a little bit of movement sideways is good.
Has he got the legs?
He's got to ride again.
Jinx.
He loved that bowl out there, didn't he?
Yep. 1. Is it 2? I don't think so. Just a little puff from the mouth of Mark, who just can't believe that it's happened again. Hasn't dropped a multiple, but he still can't get that lead back. And this is where it can get frustrating, because you can do everything right, but sometimes it just doesn't go your way. 16-15, 5 shots required for Tyrone Alberti. Section 129. Joseph van der Pennen has won his match over Bruce Moran in this section. So he's 2-0 to take on Mark Whybrow next. So for Mark to go through, he will need to, his shot difference is pretty good. So if he loses this, he'll just have to win his last match and he'll be able to go through. Tyrone Alberti is -5. And the maximum he can go here is +6, so I'm not sure that's going to help him too much.
That's advantage Tyrone at this stage. The bowls is heating up and so is the kitchen by the smells of it. I'm getting a bit of waft of garlic every now and then, and it's pretty good.
It's killing me. I wanted to go get a bagel today, but I'm not sure we're going to have the time. Maybe tomorrow.
So that's the best set of 2 that Tyrone's put at the front end for a while. So that's good bowling, right when he needed it. Mark trying to reply now. He's out at a good angle.
And I tell you what.
Magnificent.
All over it. I think we might be getting another grandstand finish here in session 2. Absolutely ridiculous how close this one is becoming. Millimetres in it each way.
And you know what? Sure, we've had a few ends that have been a bit sprayed around, but on the whole, the heads have actually been quite good. It's been a good quality game of bowls.
If you're around, make sure you get to the Broadbeach Bowls Club and watch some of this pulsating action. Or if you're around any of the 15 clubs on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
There's a photo of Troy Corber in all of them.
in a wanted poster.
What have you been doing? Tyrone doesn't want to promote a bowl up, but he won't. So chance here once again for Mark to take the lead. Holding 1. A second would be massive. has not led since the conclusion of end number 6. Led 5-3. Tyrone Alberti took a 3 to take the lead 6-5, and from there he hasn't been headed.
Well, he doesn't really need to correct much here. He beats his last bowl that he's played. He counts. But he has to take good cross. He does not want to cross the line and potentially roll his own bowl onto the jack. That could be disastrous.
What has he done? Needs it to start turning in now. It won't, so single it'll be. And it's 16 all. Just slowed up completely, the scoring. And the drama continues to intensify. Well, at the end of this end, one of them is going to be in the checkout zone and be within an end of victory. How close will the winner of the end be? Remains to be seen, but I'm backing it'll be a 1. The heads are so close.
Mark's done a good job of nailing his first bowl on his backhand coming back this way. And he's reasonable here. Does leave Tyrone a bit of room.
So this second half of the match, this is end 25. And Tyrone Alberti has not won consecutive ends since the 12th and 13th end. So Mark has done an extremely wonderful job of drying up the scoring, because from 12-6 down he scored 10-4, and he would like to extend that.
It looks like he's made a fair correction on his last here. Yep.
That'll do.
That'll do, donkey.
That movie still holds up.
Absolutely.
I reckon I saw that 3 times at the cinemas when I was a kid. Tyrone finds the gap, so he gets one behind. Not a bad spot to be in if he wants to play some attacking weight. Next match starts at 2:30 p.m. Jake Rinn, who a lot of people will know very well, against Darren Farrell.
It's a pretty good change of hands coming in here from Mark. Looks inviting though. Tyrone's taking the invitation. He says, I'll have a piece of that action.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
What's he got? Tyrone, he'll take the jack. Doesn't want his bowl to go in the ditch. And it did.
So it's a bowl that's gone out there. Jack is still in bounds. And I think his other bowl out to the right of screen that you can't see, I'm not sure that that's still in play.
No, that's outside the boundary peg. So, look, he's probably holding.
Having a look at the wide bowl now.
So, Mark Whybrow.
So he's got a fair bit of room here. Tyrone does still have one to come, though.
Yep.
So
he's going to try and arc it from out of bounds to inbounds as it makes that trek now.
Gee, it needs to hurry. Well, it's enough, but it does leave a lot of room. Mark a bit exasperated there. It's a bit of new territory out there that hasn't really been played over, so it will run a bit slower out there.
So currently holding the lead. Tyrone Alberti trying to wrestle it back for himself. Hasn't been headed since after the 7th end. Just has to make sure he gets his weight right.
Well, his line's certainly good enough.
And I think this is going to do the trick. And it is going to do the trick. That comes right back. And Tyrone Alberti says, you are going to have to do a lot to get in front of me. We go up, and I was right. We go up by 1 again.
Yeah, he had a big target zone, Tyrone, when he played that weight, but he still had to execute it, and he did.
He would have loved not to have hit his own bowl into the
Yeah.
dish.
Yep.
If that had stayed up, that would have been a very good result. So for the first time, we see Tyrone put the jack right back. Oh, sorry, the mat right back.
It's almost a complete flip of tactics, isn't it,
Yeah.
from the start of the game? Which does sort of make sense, because once Tyrone got the mat and was going short, that was sort of when he sort of looked a bit better, but then Mark came on and started dominating on them.
And that is his best opening bowl for quite some time.
Yeah, that's a goodie.
So who is going to win? This is the last or second, or there's only 3 matches going. This green at the moment.
Mark's drifting this home nicely.
Oh yeah.
What a lovely bowl.
That's really nice that Tyrone's support base clapping in the bowls of Mark as well. They understand how good this match has been. Really enjoyable one to cover and call. Tyrone Alberti wants to squirt something and he just can't. Keeps a hold of this lead that he's held for quite some time.
There's nothing for short here for Mark. He needs to make sure he's just arriving. He's going to get a little stiff there. Oh, ouch. Yeah. Unfortunate there to give the shot away. He turned to us here at the commentary desk and raised his eyebrows at us. Tyrone now trying to rub some salt in the wounds.
Because I think he's pretty close.
Wow.
Oh, that is... Well, he's kept it at 1.
Yeah, he's just unlucky he got that little bit of the jack.
High five from his son. Weight coming. What is this going to do? I think he's going to connect with something
Close.
here. It's connected with everything. It's pinballed around. And it's gone right to the back. So what is the situation now?
Well, it looks like they've all fallen out of the back of the truck from the other end. There's a fair bit of traffic out on their forehand side. I dare say, really, no one's shot.
Yeah. Well, at the moment, I think it's 2 to Tyrone.
So it's a 1-bowl shootout here.
Yep. Make it 3 to Tyrone. This has to be good.
Well, of course, the issue for Mark is sure he wants to get the shot. But he's also got to be careful he doesn't overplay it.
Because if he does, if he drops a 3, that is almost curtains.
He needs to negotiate the traffic first.
Not sure his weight is there. Is it there? It might just be. It might just be. It might just be. And it is.
Just does enough. That's all you have to do. That's a good bowl.
And we continue our trend. So that's just going end for end. No one can get the consistency. No one can get the momentum. And that is 1 to Mark Whybrow. He still can't get the lead, but it's 17 apiece.
If they keep trading ones, time nearly comes into it. We've only got half an hour left.
Yep.
If they keep trading ones like they are, we could have the game decided on the bell.
Officially, our longest game of Ringside Live so far at this Australian Open. We are ticking into end number 27. Played 26. And Mark Whybrow has not dropped consecutive ends at all.
That's 2 days in a row. Our second game in the middle has been an absolute belter. It's the marquee round, isn't it?
Yep. Session 2. It's when people get up on a Sunday, watching their afternoon bowls. What a Sunday thriller we've got for you. Grandstand finish, both within an end of victory now. A full count for either. We'll finish it off. Good afternoon to everyone from wherever you're watching. Hope you're enjoying the coverage here. The Australian Open 2025. Tyrone Alberti and Mark Whybrow locked in an intense battle. Mark hasn't been in front since the conclusion of end number 6, where he led 5-3. Tyrone Alberti managed to get that to 12-6, and since then, he's just managed to peg it back slowly. And since end 13, he hasn't dropped consecutive ends. That's close.
Just gets the wrong side of it.
It's the wind picking up towards this bowl. Might have had an effect on it.
Oh, a good effect, I think.
Tyrone.
Oh, it's held it up beautifully onto the jack.
Wants to finish it now, maybe.
Wow, indeed.
He's got 2.
The bowl is loaded on the jack straight to his other bowl.
This is going to cut underneath. And it's fallen over, actually, so that's probably that helps. Holding 2.
Can he draw a third?
Well, he's done all right here. This looks good.
This is close.
This looks very good. It might be the best of the lot. It might.
Oh dear.
Good home, however.
He was urging that GTR just to bend that little bit more for him. Good effort.
So the last one to come for Mark Whybrow. Tyrone Alberti hasn't scored a multiple since the 13th end. We're on end 27. It's only scored in singles. That's how tight it's been. Yeah. And this bowl is tight. Tyrone Alberti has an opportunity to break the contest wide open. If he can score a third here, it could spell curtains for Mark Whybrow. I don't think he likes it.
Oh, I think he, just as he delivered the bowl, he copped a gust, which he wasn't that happy about.
And another foot, and he was in. But there is a multiple. And is it a momentum swinger? It is 3. He got it in the count.
There you go.
So that is a very big body blow to Mark Whybrow, because all Tyrone Alberti has to do is score 1. But it is the hardest one to get. 20-17.
Is there another twist to this tail, Val?
The jack stops, which it will. Maybe Jack Pitt finish it off.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be exciting?
That would be interesting.
How many ends have we got left? There's a maximum of 5 or 4. Maximum of 4 ends to play. When will the last bowl be played? Will it go right to that maximum? Will someone be able to pull the rabbit out of the hat and win it immediately?
Gets inside the bowl, but just runs a touch.
His 5 previous scores, Tyrone, were singles. across a 14-end period. And then he dropped the hammer with a 3. And he's holding game now. But I dare say, Troy, they won't be the shots.
No, not based on how Mark's played. It's too much room for him, I would have thought. He's been very consistent, and this is no exception. This is a magnificent bowl.
Oh, yeah.
He needed that one, and he delivered. The postman.
But his name's not Pat.
Well, he's probably not a postman because he's delivering on a Sunday.
Yeah, they tend not to like working on Sundays, do they?
So, Mark, can he add to this count? Just slightly overweight.
So if he doesn't nail this, Tyrone, we're going again. He's watching it. That ain't going to get down.
The wind just helping it on its way.
So we're at least going one more end. What can Mark Whybrow do?
He's got approximately 2 feet of room to draw another here, which will certainly help.
22 minutes of time left. Getting awfully close to that timed out section. I doubt we're going to get there. We'll go that far, but
we only need to get an umpire call or something like that.
Well, exactly right. Mark Whybrow, has he got this in for a multiple?
Needs to hurry.
No.
Now, what's Mark going to do here? He's been pretty successful on a shorter length with the mat up a bit.
20-18. Mark needs to win for his Australian Open campaign.
He's gone pretty deep here. He's got the kitty just about on the 6 foot mark.
Good afternoon to everyone wherever you're watching. This is a grandstand finish. Tyrone Alberti against Mark Whybrow. Tyrone has led or been even since the end of the 7th end. We're playing end number 29. It's probably the most wayward we've seen one of Mark's first bowls, or opening bowls, since the early portion of this match, where Tyrone got out to a 12-6 buffer.
Yeah, he won't be happy with that. He would have been looking to really nail that jack with his first.
Because Tyrone is going to get one in. His weight was good, but there's still room. But any time he holds shot from now on, he's holding game.
Mark intimating with his hand that he's not taken enough grass. And his instincts were correct.
He's dropped well short as well, so Tyrone can go a long way to finishing this here.
Potentially just a bit of experience coming to the fore here. Tyrone's been playing for 19 years. Mark's only been playing for 5. And that certainly does play a part, especially in these grandstand finishes. There's a bit of extra pressure. Can he make the correction?
Starting. Oh, I think he has. I think Mark Whybrow has done exactly that.
Yeah, that's good enough until something else comes along.
He's holding firm. He is holding firm. We still have no idea. Tyrone Alberti's looking very well pointed.
Look at this coming in.
And a nice clap from Mark as well. Understands
it's a great bowl.
How good that bowl was. So now it comes down to this. Mark Whybrow must wrestle shot back.
Not only has he gotten the shot, but he's going to, if Mark wants to draw this, he's going to force him to change hands. So he's either going to go reasonably quick to stay on his forehand and pluck the bowl out, or change over and give himself a chance down through that channel.
Tyrone, his last bowl has terrorised Mark. Can Mark Whybrow?
Looks like he's shaping up to play a bit of weight here.
Can he save this match? He's not far. He shaved the front bowl, and that'll do it. Tyrone Alberti holds firm. After a strong challenge, he withstands the ACT's Mark Whybrow to notch up his first win of this Australian Open in 2025. What a brilliant game that was. Session 2 proving to be the goods here at the AO, but a brilliant performance. 21-18 after a hell of a lot of ends. That was a brilliant display, Troy Corber.
Sure was, and both men should be happy with the way they performed, and two really great guys, and it was played in great spirit and good sportsmanship too.
Certainly was.
So pleasure to bring that game to everyone.
That's what you do love to see. So very much looking forward to our next match between Darren Farrell of Queensland and Jake Rinn of Queensland. I dare say we may have a Helensvale duo going up against each other, with Jake Rinn just making the move over there. But Troy, thank you very much. We'll go catch our breath. Thank you to Troy. Thank you to Connor Munnings behind the scenes as well. Thank you to Mark Whybrow and Tyrone Alberti for putting on a great show this afternoon. We'll catch you in about 45 minutes' time for our final match of the day between Jake Rinn and Darren Farrell.